Sunny Gavaskar was also talking to India today, and these are his thoughts on this historic India versus Australia Test match.
Oh, look, I'm looking forward to this game because.
Well, I can tell you, this is the first time I've actually, I'm coming to the ground when the moon is setting and not the sun is rising, because I've taken a couple of pictures of the moon set as we've come to the ground. And it's still around, so the moon will probably take another 20 minutes for the moon to set. But so it's a different feeling altogether, but quite exciting to have the two leaders of the countries which are going to be doing battle on the cricket field, to have the two leaders coming down to especially watch the game. I think that's a very exciting feeling.
Yeah, and maybe they should go and do the toss.
Saibai, also in terms of, we're celebrating 75 years of India versus Australia cricketing relations. You've been part of many India versus Australia contests as well. Over the years, that first tour, 1947, and then from there on, what are your abiding memories of India versus Australia cricket?
Yes, I think this rivalry is, I don't know about the Ashes situation, but I think this rivalry definitely is something that the cricket fans of both countries, and in fact cricket fans all over the world, look forward to, because it is well fought. Teams are very, very, very competitive. There's some unbelievable talent in both the teams. There are great players in both the teams, and so therefore I think cricket is always very exciting when India and Australia play against each other.
All right, Sunny Gavaskar, thanks so much for joining us. He, of course, has to go for the all-important pitch report as well as the toss. But Alan Border still with us. Alan, we were talking about the memories of India versus Australia. There was a time here in India that most Indian cricket fans really looked up to the Australian teams because they were dominating world cricket. The teams that you helmed, the teams later captained by Steve Waugh, then the teams captained by Ricky Ponting, they were really dominating international cricket. And to beat Australia used to be a massive, massive thing here in India. But over the last decade or so, or probably slightly less than that, India have gone on to Australia, won 2 test series there. That's a very uncommon sight. Now dominating at home, this is something India always did. Do you think that balance of power, just in terms of cricketing prowess, has gradually shifted from Australia to India now?
Oh, most definitely. I think India have got the upper hand just at the moment, and they'll get a chance, won't they, in England at the Oval. Looks like these two teams are going to play again in that World Championship game, final game at the Oval. So that will be thrilling in itself, just to watch them go at it in neutral country. But yeah, as you said, the rivalry is just built up slowly but surely. There was a period there where the Australians were very, very dominant, and don't forget, we didn't tour India all that often. We came, like before I came in 1979, we weren't here from 1969. So it's a big gap, between teams playing against each other. So that's how far India have come. I mean, sort of fairly humble beginnings with their cricket team to, just a world power, and probably the world power financially, and with the cricket team they put together. Absolutely fantastic. So, they're winning games away from home. So I'm really looking forward to, well, firstly, this test match, see how this series finishes, and then see how they do battle in neutral territory over at the Oval in London.
Okay, Alan, before we let you go, final question. Tell us a bit about Anthony Albanese. Is he a big cricket fan? I reckon he's not as big a fan as John Howard was. I believe he used to love his cricket. But previously, any incident that you had of a Prime Minister, coming either for a tour game, playing a tour game, anything that you can share with our viewers?
Look, most of the time, remember Bob Hawke? He was a Prime Minister for a lot of years there, and he reignited the Prime Minister's 11 game that was played against the touring team every year. So, he was very big supporter of Australian sport, but particularly our cricket. He wasn't a bad cricketer himself until he got hit in the eye. I don't know whether you've seen that footage, but someone bounced the Prime Minister and hit him right in the eye and smashed his glasses and got a nasty cut. So he took a few for the team. So that's that's the Prime Minister you want to see. And Anthony Albanese is he's a knockabout bloke as well. Loves his sport. He's probably more into rugby league, which you guys wouldn't know much about here. But yeah, it's a pretty tough old sport, and you know, he's from the school of hard knocks, and he's done fantastically well to be in the position he's been in. And yeah, we're really thankful for his support.
All right, Alan Border, thank you so much for taking our time and speaking to India today. Of course, we'll have Alan back a little later in the day to talk about the events that will unfold in Ahmedabad. As we've been building up here on India today, you've got the heads of state, Prime Minister of Australia, Prime Minister of India, going to be witnessing the first day of the test match between India and Australia. This, of course, is the grand finale of the Border Gavaskar series. And just to make your Thursday morning perfect, we had both Border and Gavaskar speaking to you ahead of that historic moment.